Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I am going to show you how to program the product registration process including image uploading. At first, I am going to show you how to register a product in my eShop. Select the category. I'm going to upload an image. I'm going to save the product. The alert will say product saved successfully. So now I'm going to check the product is saved. You can see the product is saved in here. Now I'm going to show you the database of a product tables. This is the product database. This is my eShop database. This is the product data. I have other tables and I have added a category table, a brand, model, condition table, color, and product image table. I connected these tables to a product table using relationships. Mostly I used one-to-many relationships. Mostly I used one-to-many relationships and many-to-many relationships. So now let's see the coding of this page. We'll look at three main parts of the implementation. The front-end HTML plus PHP file, which creates the form. The JavaScript, which handles form submission and image preview. And finally, the backend PHP process, which saves the data and images into the database. Let's start with the add product PHP file. Here we have the basic HTML structure and some linked style sheets like Bootstrap CSS and a custom style CSS. The page title is Add Product eShop. Next, inside the body section, we start by including the header and checking if a user is logged in using PHP sessions. If the user is not logged in, they are redirected to the index page. Here we use PHP to fetch all categories from the category table using the database class and populate them as option tag elements dynamically. So the user can choose from the available categories. Similarly, we have dropdowns for brand and model, also populated dynamically from their respective tables. Each dropdown uses the same pattern. A simple SQL select query and a PHP loop to echo out option elements. Next, we have an input field for the product title, where the seller gives a short name or description for the product. Here we handle product condition using two radio buttons, brand new or used. Then there's a drop-down for product color. Also loaded dynamically from the color table. Below that, we have an input field to add a new color manually if it's not already in the list. Finally, the section includes a quantity field where the seller can specify how many items are available. This section collects the cost per item using an input group with a currency symbol. Next to it, we display four icons representing approved payment methods like Visa, MasterCard, etc. using small div placeholders styled via CSS. In this section, the seller can define delivery costs, one for within Colombo and for another outside Colombo. We used Bootstrap input groups again for a clean layout. Here's the product description, a large text area that allows the seller to write a detailed description about the product. This is one of the most interesting parts, the image upload section. We allow up to 3 product images, and each placeholder initially shows a default image for at producting SVG. The file input is hidden, and we use a style label as a button. When clicked, it triggers the file selector. Finally, we display a small notice that mentions a 5% service charge per product sale. Then at the bottom, there is a Save Product button that triggers the JavaScript function at product. Now let's look at the JavaScript part, starting with the at product function. This function collects all the form values using document getElementById method. That includes category, brand, model, title, condition, color, quantity, cost, delivery charges, and description. We then create a form data object. This is important because we'll also be uploading images, and form data allows us to send both text and files together. Each input value is added to the form data using from append. For images, we loop through each selected file and append them individually as image0, image1, and so on. Next, we create an XML HTTP request to send this data to our backend file at product process PHP using the post method. Once the request completes successfully, if the response is success, we alert the user and reload the page. Otherwise, we display an error message returned by the backend. The second function change product image. The second function change product image handles live image previews. When a user selects images, it checks that there are no more than 3 files. Then using window URL create object URL file, we show temporary previews inside the 3 image slots before upload. It gives immediate visual feedback which improves the user experience. Now let's move to the backend logic at product process PHP. This file receives all the data sent by JavaScript using the post method array. We also get the user's email from the session to associate the product with the correct seller. At first, I have started the session and I have included the connection PHP file. The first step is to check if the selected model and brand combination already exists in the model has brand table. If it doesn't exist, we insert it and retrieve the new ID. Otherwise, we just reuse the existing one. This ensures we don't create duplicate combinations. Then we generate the current date and time using PHP's datetime class set to the Colombo time zone. After that, we insert a new row into the product table with all the collected details: title, description, category, brand, model ID, condition, prices, delivery fees, and user email. We also set the status as active by default. Once the product record is created, we link the product with its selected color by inserting a record into the product has color table. Now for the image uploading logic, this part validates the number of uploaded images and ensures that only JPEG, PNG or SVG formats are allowed. We loop through each uploaded image, check its MIM, check its MIME type, generate a unique file name using unique ID, and move it into the resource/mobile images folder. For each image, we also insert its path into the product image table, linking it to the correct product ID. If everything goes well, we return the message success, which the JavaScript uses to show the success alert. If the image count is valid or the file type is not allowed, we return an appropriate error message like invalid image type or invalid image count. This helps in debugging and gives feedback to the user. So this add-product feature demonstrates a complete data flow from a dynamic frontend form through JavaScript validation and Ajax to a secure PHP backend that saves product details and upload images. It's a great example of how the frontend and backend work together to create a smooth real-world e-commerce experience. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.